then you find out that you also fail. So this is why Paul is saying that we are to be aware. Don't look at how they dress. Don't look at how they appear to you, but check the heart. Go beyond the outward appearance. You know, and so oftentimes we are fooled by the outward appearance of an individual. And because we are fooled by them, we let ourselves loose. We let ourselves careless. And then we are caught unaware. Paul said that we are to have no confidence in the flesh. Don't depend on what you see. The external appearances will fool us. But though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Paul is saying that when you are the true circumcision, then you don't put no confidence in the flesh. Paul said, none of you have the opportunity to trust the flesh like how I do. I believe that I am more qualified to put confidence in the flesh. And even though I'm so qualified because I know the flesh inside out, so I could put confidence in Paul said, I don't even do that. I don't think I also have confidence in the flesh. Any other man think that he has whereof he might trust in the flesh. And Paul said, nobody else have reason to trust in the flesh more than he do, because he was so learned. He was taught by the best teacher at the time. He went to the best school. So Paul said, I have all right to put confidence in the flesh. So you don't tell me that, yes, and if I who have all right to do it, don't do it. Why are you doing it? This is what Paul said. You don't have to do it. And I'm telling you from experience, this is what, because Paul don't want to show you why you should not put confidence in the flesh. Paul is saying, look, I'm the one who is telling you, I was circumcised the 8th day, like what was stipulated by the law. I was of the stock of Israel, I come from Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee, as touching the law, I'm blameless. This is what Paul wants us to understand. When it comes to the law, he is blameless. Because the Pharisee in those days would be blameless when it comes to the law. Because they do everything according to the law. And if anybody they see breaking the law, they would destroy them and say, look, you're breaking the law. And the law said, if you break it, you must die. And this is how Paul was. And this is why Paul was on his way to Damascus. Because as touching the law, he was a Pharisee, he was blameless. So anybody oppose it, he would go after them and try to destroy them, because he said you should not break the law. So Paul is telling this qualification why he should trust in the flesh. This is why he said, when it comes to zeal, and persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, he was blameless. This is what Paul had the zeal, and he was out at the church, because as far as Paul was concerned, the church was opposing the righteousness of the law. And because they were opposing the righteousness of the law, he was out to get the church. And this is what is happening. And don't believe that we are any different. We are no different. So expect persecution, because you are opposing the righteousness of the law. not of God now, but the law of Satan. You are opposing Satan's righteousness, and whatever you are opposing, they expect to get opposition from that area. And this is where Paul was at the church, because the church, as far as Paul sees, was opposing what he defended, was opposing in what he believed. So Paul said, if you oppose me, then I have to get to you, I have to get at you, because you should not be opposed, because Paul could not see nothing else but the law. He could not see nothing else but what he was taught. And in the same way we have opposition in today's world. And this is why, as believers, as children of God, as born-again believers, when we are going out there, we should be armed and ready. Because we are facing circumstances out there that is opposing to the law of God. And we are opposing those laws out there, the righteousness that exists out there. Because the unsaved, the Adventists, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Baptists, the Methodists, they can't see where they are wrong. They can't see where they falter. And as far as they are concerned, they are doing what is right. So anytime the church is in opposition of the righteousness of the law, then you can get persecution. And this is what Paul wants us to understand. But Paul says, look, you see, all of these things that I could gain, I count them loss for Christ. All these things that I could gain, I count loss for Christ. Paul could be elevated to be the chief scribe, the chief teacher. He could be elevated to be the top in his word. But Paul said, all those things, I count them loss for Christ. Because Paul recognized that if you don't win Christ, then you'll be in trouble in the latter days. It may look pretty now, it may look sweet now, it may look nice and comfortable because I am driving a Rolls Royce. But what is the end result? The end result brings death. The end result brings separation. The end result brings failure. And this is what Paul wants us to understand. Don't look at what is glittering. Not everything that glitters is gold. I was listening to I don't know if it's documentary or what, on the television this morning, and the fact-finding things that 32,000 people are right now in Jamaica who are infected with AIDS. And out of the 32,000, they say that 75% of these 32 don't even know that they are infected. So they are walking around infected and they don't even recognize that they are infected. And they look healthy, they look well, they look good. And if you know fall in their trap, you don't even know who they are. You can't look at them and say, well, that person has AIDS. They look good because of the increase in technology. Medications are there that can keep them going and keep them healthy and keep them, and they can be on these medications and you look at them and they look well, they look healthy and strong, everything normal. and they are infected.